Hi. For me to take a programming language seriously, it must first be able to handle direct file access, and second, be able to interface with databases. What is a database? You hear it all the time in science fiction. Anson, status report. I have successfully accessed the aliens database using one of the techniques found in our database. I'm now attempting to join our database with theirs to form a new database that will database the hell out of any database that I've ever databased before. Okay, good. Captain, I have an urgent need to probe a database. Anson, remember to flush. You kind of forgot to do that the last time. I understand. Database is just a fancy name for this. A table. Of course, it being in digital form naturally allows for multiple cross-references between tables. So let's just clarify this word once and for all. A database is a collection of tables. Or even just a single table. That's pretty much all it is. The database we'll be experimenting with here will be SQLite. Why? Because it doesn't require a server or other complicated setups. And your database is basically a file. To copy a database, you just copy a file. Okay, for the duration of this video, I'm gonna drop the fancy word database and just use the less scary word table, because that is what it actually is. A collection of tables. Let's create a simplified database of humans. We will be creating this SQLite table using Python. I have deliberately kept this simple so they can concentrate on learning how to create a table instead of doing brain-dead data entry, because there are people who actually get paid for that. No, we will just focus instead on the mechanism here. The programming language often used for creating and manipulating table is called SQL, short for Structured Query Language. But nobody cares. Most people who use it don't really know what it stands for anyway. Just like my cousin LeBlanc who don't know what NASA stands for. Hey LeBlanc, do you know what NASA stands for? National Agency? No, there is no agency in NASA. Try again. National Air Space. Okay, there is a space. This is the SQL code to create this table. Notice that there are types as well. However, it should be noted that in SQLite, types are merely suggestions. You can have a column that theoretically only accepts numbers but end up containing strings as well, because SQLite just basically doesn't care. Unless you're talking about the integer primary key column, this peculiar column will auto-increment its value so that no two rows will have the same primary key. Think of the primary key as a stopgap measure to organize your table. A well-designed table will have more relevant information that serves to aid in the organization of the table. This is the SQL code to enter the data into the table. You can then repeat this to enter all the data. Notice that I didn't specify the primary ID anymore after the first one. This is because SQLite will auto-increment the primary ID.
Wait a second. These are not Python codes. How do you expect Python to execute these codes?
By wrapping the SQL codes with Python codes like this. Try typing these codes out. You will be creating your first database in Python. Run it the first time to create the database, and run it a second time to see your data. At this point, you have created a file called humans.db3. Contained within this file is a table named humans. Understand that you are not limited to a single table. You can have as many tables as you want.
each with its own name and structure. The most powerful concept of them all is the database ability to cross-reference the information contained within its own collection of tables. This will be the true essence of a database. These are the syntax that will allow you to modify your table's data. This is a common way to display everything in a table. In SQL land, the asterisk symbol means everything, and the keyword select makes more sense if you read it as show. So what we have here is a statement that translates to show everything in a table named humans. However, what use is a database if you can't filter out information? That will be like searching for something in Google only to have Google present to you everything in the internet regardless of what you type. Here are some ways to instruct SQLite or any SQL compliant database system to display information in a way you might require. The good news here is, it is remarkably readable as English once you start changing the keyword select to show in your mind and read it as such.
As always, remember to wrap your SQL statement with Python codes like this to get it to run in Python. This concludes the 7-part series on Python programming for morons. Yay! I can't believe I actually managed to pull this off. I want to thank my mom and the only 2 friends I have in Singapore, Martin and Kai, for their help during the creation of this video. I also want to thank my States friend Charles for this camcorder. These videos would not have been possible at all without his gift. And for all of you out there who has stuck by me from part 1 to part 7 of these videos, thanks for being patient with me, and I hope you all benefited from it as well. Your company makes this all worth it, and it's you guys who continue to motivate me to make more videos that might be of interest to you. Thanks for sticking by. Now, onward to more videos.